think about it, relax. Ableton 9. Have you seen the software? No one's ever been near this or touched this?
I think I've seen it, but
okay. It's all sequencing software packages are essentially the same. Whether you're using Logic, whether you're using Ableton or GarageBand or Reaper or Sonar, there's so many out there. They all do the same thing. They all record sounds or sequence sounds, MIDI and audio, and then play them back. When you look at a screen like this, though, straight away, it's just like that doesn't look familiar to me at all.
It looks
okay. It looks correct. It looks great. It's not old. It's very new. The first thing I'm going to do here then is the screen's quite small at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to go to the options menu. I'm going to go to preference. As long as you can hear what I'm saying, if it's a bit blurry, that's okay. Go to the options menu. Preference a bit small. I'm going to go on the look and feel tab. It's on 74% at the moment. So I'm going to click that, and it brings everything back up to 100. Okay, so basically I've got 100% view now of everything. Okay, I'm going to pull the browser over a little bit like that. And when you first open this piece of software, it presents you with 2 MIDI tracks, 1, 2, and 2 audio tracks. Okay. Now it looks strange to you initially, I suppose, because you're used to a timeline running left to right. You press start, play, and the timeline runs from left to right, this way. But here, you've got little slots for different clips of recordings, and it goes this way. Well, how does it work? Okay, we can use this view for certain things. Okay, it's easier though if we swap by clicking that little symbol there, okay, with the parallel lines, to a view that you're probably more familiar with, which is the timeline view. Okay, still the same view, still got the same 2 audio and MIDI tracks in there. You've got 4 tracks. It's the same thing, got the same page, but it's just looking at it in a different way. Okay. But what's also strange about this view as well is that your information is on the right hand side. In Logic and all the other pieces, and this is something you'll get used to. It's not for any reason, it's just the way the software is designed. When you press play, the cursor will start, and if I press play, you'll see the cursor begin to move from left to right there. Okay? It's no different. It's not as if the cursor is going to start moving from right to left and we're reading in Arabic or something like that. It's not like that. It's still going the same way. Just the information and mutes and everything is on this side. Okay, that's just something you have to get used to if you're used to it being on this side. Okay, it's still something that I have to get used to after 10 years using the software. It's still on this side. It's a bit weird. Right? That said, that's the general kind of introduction to the software. I'm going to shrink the screen just a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. It's not 100%. I'm just going to take it down to about 90%, yeah, so you can see what we're doing.
sounds fun.
Okay. We don't want the MIDI tracks. I'm going to highlight the first MIDI track, I'm going to delete it. I'm going to highlight the second MIDI track, okay, so I'm going to delete it. Okay, that's all we need. We only need the 2 audio. In fact, we don't even need the 2, we just need the 1. Because we've got 1 microphone, we're going to be demonstrating the 1 audio track today. I'm going to widen it out a bit, just a little bit. If you grab hold of the bottom of that, you can pull it down and you can see what's going on. Right, so far so good. You open the software, it opens in that view, don't be scared.
Really?
Click the other view, get rid of the tracks you don't want, adjust your magnification if that's what you need to do. When I click, now look very carefully, this is why I've asked you to film because some of these things go unnoticed. There's a tiny little icon there, it says I/O. You'd miss that. You look for that for 10 years on this screen, still miss it, okay? It's called I/O, it stands for in and out, okay? I'm going to press I/O and another little section will appear here, which will tell me my ins and outs, how to select my ins and outs, okay? You can already see a level there. See the level there, okay? So we already know my ins and outs are selected, okay? But most of the time, if everything's been set up how it is, you won't have to, you'll go in and it will be set up, hold on, like this. So just to confirm what you're seeing there, it's asking you, where do you want your inputs to come from? Okay, the top section. It might be easy. If I flick back to the other view, you're going to see exactly this information, but in a slightly different view. I've only got 1 audio track because I've deleted the other one. So if I click back to the other view, you can see now I've only got the 1 audio track. Okay, if I click the in and out again, then we've got exactly the same thing that's being shown there. Okay, it's just timeline view and session view. It's no different. Okay, sometimes it's easier to see things in this view. The top 2 boxes are asking where's your input coming from. The bottom 2 boxes, just beneath them, are asking where's your output going to. The software needs to know where your signal's coming from and where they're going to, otherwise it's not going to be able to do it. At the moment it says by default I want my signals to come from the external in, which is this. great, okay? And it's asking to come from channel 1. If I drop that box down, you can see it's giving me 2 choices. It can come from 1 or 2, or both together in 1. Okay? 1 or 2. As soon as I plug the power supply into this sound card, okay, then I'd have 6 choices there. It would say 1 to 6, okay? But at the moment, I've only got 8 bus power, so it's only acceptable. Great, that's right. If I click on record at the bottom there, just like Logic, we arm the track to record, okay? When I arm that to record, see the level in there now? Okay, there's no level in there if I don't arm it to record to start with, okay? So now it's armed to record. The output now is also going to the external out. The external means this, okay? External out. It's asking, do you want to send the signals to 1 and 2, 1 or 2? So where have we got the speaker from?
1.
Number 1. So what do we choose in this drop-down menu?
It's 1.
Number 1. Okay, we're all ready. Okay. Now, normally we don't listen to stuff when we're recording it. Sometimes you do. You know, in some studios, if the band's halfway down the hall or something in a different room. In this studio, we tend to have the speakers turned down to record because you can't differentiate between what's coming out the speakers and what's coming from the room in here. So to try and get a balance, it's a lot easier. It doesn't really matter which way you do it. Should we turn the speaker on now? Always make sure the volume's down before you turn it on. You might get a bit of hum from these speakers because they're not great speakers, to be fair. They're not electrically sealed, which basically means fluorescent lights and things will cause hums and lots of. Spend another 100 quid, that was about 150. Spend 250 quid in a bit of speaker that's 3 times better. I'm going to go back into my timeline view then, in order to record. I'm going to press record, which is that button there. Record, playing, stop and everything are located in a similar way, the transport patterns, all the other sequencing software. Press record. And you can see, just like Logic, we can. Hey, he's now recording! Don't trim hell out of the laptop just to get a signal though, like I do. Press stop. And when I press play, I actually had it turned down then, okay? I could have heard what I had coming out as I was clapping and things. The signal would have gone into the laptop. If I had the volume up there, I would have heard it come out of there. But there's a chance of feedback happening when we've got speaker and microphone and such close to the signal, okay? So, let's turn the volume up. Hear that noise?
Yeah.
That's the power supply of the laptop. It's horrible, okay? If you went out and spent another 30 quid on a decent one, you'd probably get one without that, okay? If we're using it live, if we're providing backing tracks or doing anything, we make sure it's charged at first. You get about 2 hours of power out of it, which is normally enough to do anything. But we don't want that. It doesn't get recorded though. That signal doesn't get recorded, it's just electrical interference we often do. I press play, and we'll be able to hear what we recorded back. Okay, it's coming out here though, isn't it? That's because, in my preferences, you shouldn't have to do this. When you go to audio input is a fast track, great, but at the moment my audio output device is still saying my internal speakers, similar to how it does on the Mac actually, so I do the preferences. So output,
Sorry.
and audio, now we should hear that from that. Press record. Okay. I hate my voice. And you can see, just like Logic, we can. Is he alright, that guy?
No.
Okay, you can turn your cameras off now.